Here to discuss is our company for today, National Memo Editor-in-Chief Joe Conason, along with RNC National Spokesperson Paris Dennard. Gentlemen, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, how are you?
All right, Paris, we saw this happening when TJ Ducklo, the deputy press secretary at the time, had come out and said some not so kind words to press. But now this is happening at the very top of the vice president's office. Do you think that we'll see any action from President Biden to follow through on those words we just heard from him?
Probably not, because we know that Joe Biden is all talk and no action. And what you see in the vice president's office is a pattern. I think it's also worth noting that Symone Sanders, the spokesperson for the vice president, actually called her colleagues cowards. And so that report said that this is not something that's just happening at the chief of staff level, that this is coming from the top, which means this is how Kamala Harris leads. This is how she operates. This is how she runs her office. And so it should come by no surprise that if she can't run her office, she can't run the country. She can't run the border. She can't run anything. That's why the Democrats rejected her to be president of the United States well before her even primary in California during the Democratic primary process. And so this is a problem, and it's toxic behavior. And we've seen glimpses of this on the campaign trail, how she talked down to Vice President Pence, how she was so smug with reporters, how she snickers at people, and the look and the tone that she takes with people that she doesn't know. Imagine how she works with people and she interacts with people that she does know. This report, which the White House had to come out on the record and comment on, leading with the Symone Sanders calling them cowards, is proof positive that this report is true and it's problematic.
Yeah, and it's from Politico. I mean, they are not a right-leaning publication, Joe. And to Paris's point, the White House has come out and commented on it. This is not good to hear. These are obviously tense work environments. But Joe Biden, he said strong words. He said that they would be fired on the spot. It doesn't seem like that's happening here.
Well, I think what President Biden was talking about was an incident probably that he witnessed or was in immediate proximity of. These are allegations by people who I don't think are named, and you're right that Symone Sanders responded to it, I think because it wasn't Politico, as you said, and therefore has some credibility. On the other hand, I know Tina Flournoy, who's the chief of staff to the vice president. I'd be surprised if she was abusive to people there, but I would assume that the president would tell the vice president, you know what, this is what I said. You need to get to the bottom of this. If there's any truth in it, you need to fix it. I mean, Sean, you worked in a White House that was no stranger to toxic gossip about the president, about many, many people on his staff talking about each other. This is what happens in the White House frequently. And there's been little of it in this White House so far. So it's not shocking that this would happen now.
That we know of.
I actually think that's a great point you're making, because they have created this aura that it's unicorns and sunshine over there. This really cracks a line in that storyline.
A little bit.
No, but
the president has created a reputation for himself. Yeah, but the president, the first lady, others around them have created a reputation for themselves of treating people well, of being compassionate and caring.
But this doesn't.
And
the
I
funny
think that's
part about
something they'd like to maintain.
So I think that there's two things that I think are interesting on this, Paris. Number one is, Joe's right. The president and the first lady want to create this image. And you've got the number two creating a problem. That's not where you want to be as a vice president. You want to be the supporting person, not the person that's creating the chaos. Number two, I give Politico some credit here, and I don't do that very often. And I do so because the White House press office has made it very clear. If you write negative stories about us, we will cut your access off. That's a big deal. And I think Politico knows when they write these stories that that's part of the problem that they're going to face.
Well, Sean, you're right. And the other thing is the Biden-Harris administration has gone out of their way to present themselves as this pristine, established, well-greased machine that knows how to govern, knows how to lead, because they've been doing it for decades. And then you see, as they were casting stones and throwing dispersions and berating the previous administration, then you see them having some issues with their own administration. It's hypocrisy. It's complete hypocrisy. Maybe the vice president should read Donald Rumsfeld's rules and understand how to order and how to have order and how to lead. One of the things he says in his rules is the vice presidency is hard enough. Don't make it harder. She's making it harder for the president.
Well,
Absolutely.
you know,
Joe, real quick, I actually want to get your take on this, Joe.
Just have about on the basis of this one story, but we'll see.
All right, Joe, I want to get your take on this. We only have 30 seconds, though, because Bill Clinton, former president, come out and defended the chief of staff, vice president's chief of staff, and said, hey, this wasn't her. But the Politico article said it might go all the way up to Harris. I feel like that points a bigger finger at Harris here, and Bill Clinton is taking the pressure off of the chief of staff here. Only got 30 seconds.
Well, she used to work for him for years and years. I mean, she was his chief of staff, so I'm sure he has a good opinion of her, and it's not surprising that he would display the loyalty of speaking out in her defense. And I'm sure that's what he actually believes. So we'll find out.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, Paris, do you want Bill Clinton being your defender these days?
He's the last person I want defending me or anybody in this White House. He is not the one you want.
That's right.
All
right, guys.
All right, Paris, Joe, thanks for being here.
Thank you.